Why do I still choose watercolor year after year? There are so many other mediums, so many simpler ways of making art, and yet I keep coming back to this one. Not because it's easy, it isn't, but because it asks something very human of us: attention, observation, and a willingness to let things unfold rather than control them. In this video, I want to share why I think watercolor is a particularly meaningful companion to pick up or to go back to if you've abandoned it in 2025. One of the reasons watercolor has stayed with me is that it doesn't demand a particular level of energy or ambition, and that it is very flexible. You can sit down with it for 10 minutes or an afternoon. You can work loosely or carefully or somewhere in between. It meets you where you are, whether you're just beginning, returning after a long break, or simply wanting something quieter in your day. I think many of us reach a point where we're less interested in proving something and more interested in feeling something, being present, noticing colour, light, small changes. Watercolour has a reputation for being unforgiving, but I've found the opposite to be true. It teaches you to work with what happens: blooms, edges, unexpected moments, rather than fighting them. And that can be surprisingly freeing. As I work on this painting, you'll see that happening again and again. Small decisions, moments of letting go, allowing the painting to become what it wants to be, following my intuition at times, guiding the brush, or letting the flow of the water guide me at others. Another thing watercolour gives me is a sense of permission. Because it's unpredictable, you're not constantly judging every brushstroke, you're responding instead. And that shift from judging to responding is where creativity quietly comes back to life. A lot of people say that they would like to be more creative. Watercolour gently pulls you into a creative space that allows you to spend time with yourself, even every single day if you want to. The variety of techniques we can use with this medium make it possible to create paintings that are beautiful in their simplicity. It takes all of 5 minutes to create the simplified shape of a leaf, a cloud, or a mushroom. Drop some salt into it and you will see some beautiful effects. And it's not only with salt, but cling film, paper towels, rubbing alcohol. Almost anything you can think of will create a pattern in watercolour if you let it sit till it's dry. Why does this matter? It matters because it immediately makes it approachable to everyone, even if you've never picked up a brush before and you're looking for quick satisfaction. You naturally start asking yourself gentle questions. What happens if I add more water? What if I wait? What if I leave this alone as it is? There's no sense of needing to be clever or impressive, just attentive. I also find that watercolour keeps the mind active in a very kind way. You're making decisions, noticing relationships between colour and value, but without the feeling of being rushed or overstimulated. There's something grounding about working with water, pigment and paper. In a world that's increasingly digital and fast-paced, that physical connection, watching colour spread, feeling the bristles of your brush respond, can be surprisingly nourishing. And perhaps the most important thing is that watercolour grows with you. You don't outgrow it. As your patience deepens, as your way of seeing things changes, the medium continues to offer new possibilities. That's why if someone asked me what creative practice I'd choose today in 2025, not to master, not to perform, but to live alongside, watercolor would still be my answer. Watercolor is a bit like the slow food of the art world. You can't force it. Sometimes you even have to watch and wait for the wash to dry if you don't have a heat tool. You have to watch how a drop of ultramarine blue dances into a pool of burnt sienna. It's a reflective conversation where the water, if you want it to, can do half the work. Watercolour has a soul of its own. When you lay a wet brush onto a damp piece of paper, the pigment travels, it breathes. It's not surprising that many, myself included, have found it helps massively with anxiety and rushing thoughts. If any of this resonates with you, the pace, the curiosity, the quiet pleasure of working with watercolour, you don't have to explore it alone. I paint and sketch regularly with a small international group where we work slowly, ask questions and learn by doing rather than striving. You can attend live or watch the recorded sessions at your own pace. If you'd like to explore watercolour in that kind of space, you're very welcome to join us. I'll leave the details below and you can take a look in your own time. And another bonus reason why you should pick up watercolor is that unlike other mediums, there's no cleaning to do after each session. You can even carry your art studio in your purse. That's all for today. See you next Sunday. Bye for now.